Welcome to Style Masterclass, the podcast that teaches women to look stylish and feel confident so that they can show up ready to conquer and slay no matter what size they are. I'm your host, Miss J. You ready? Hello. Welcome back to the Style Masterclass Podcast, episode 127, One Boob at a Time Protocol. That's what I'm talking about today. This is something I created for my students who are really struggling to get dressed every day. For those of you who have ever suffered with depression, you know that sometimes the idea of getting dressed is so daunting. The idea of being stylish seems almost moronic in light of the fact that you're so depressed, you're sort of feeling like you're fighting for your very existence. Or for those of you who have really bad periods of PMS and getting out of bed and getting dressed is daunting. For those of you who've ever just had a bad day where you just didn't feel like it, this week's episode is for you. First, I want to talk about having compassion and kindness. A lot of times when we feel blue, and I think particularly as women, we're socialized to never outwardly feel blue, to always have a smile on our face. If anyone has ever been asked by men, why aren't you smiling? And you want to throat punch him, you know what I'm talking about. There are going to be days where you don't feel particularly good about yourself. There's going to be days where you just don't feel like it. There's going to be days. There'll be days like this, my mama said, right? Like, you're a normal human person. Welcome. Welcome to the tribe where you don't always feel 100% happy. And then how do you dress yourself on days when you just don't feel like it? Well, first, I want you to have some compassion for yourself, some kindness for yourself, some mad love for yourself, because it's okay. It happens to all of us. When you get into a cycle of beating yourself up over having a day that feels kind of blue, it just a cycle perpetuates on and on and on. But if you can drop into compassion for a moment, then you can decide what you want to do from there. But from a place of compassion, not a place of guilt or shame, or I should get dressed. I have to get dressed. Oh my God, when was the last time I showered? What is happening, right? You do that. That's not a particularly useful way to try and pull yourself up and through and get dressed. Instead, what I'm asking you to do is acknowledge, drop into compassion, drop into some self-love, and then decide from there what it is you want to do next. So that's step one. Let's drop into some compassion. Step two, from the place of compassion, decide what getting dressed might look like for you on that particular day. Now, for some of you, that might just be a change of jammies. And you know, I'm all about that leading lady lounge pajama life. There's a whole episode dedicated to it. No shame in your game if you just want to put on a fresh pair of jammies today and that's all you can muster. If you have to go see other humans and you're required to wear a particular type of dress and actually get dressed out of jammies, from that place of compassion, I want you to adopt what I call the one boob at a time protocol. And it goes like this. I can do anything if the next step is all that I have to do. I can swing my legs over the side of the bed and sit on my bed. I can stand up and walk to the bathroom. I can brush my teeth. I can shower. I can moisturize my face. I can put on my pants one leg at a time. I can put on my bra one boob at a time. I can put on my clothes one teeny tiny step of the way, pep talking yourself and loving on yourself every single step of the way. We don't have to worry about it all at once, because that might be overwhelming for someone who's struggling. We can acknowledge the struggle, do so with compassion, and decide if I'm going to get dressed today, I'm going to do it slowly, one boob at a time. Now, I know that might sound kind of silly, and a lot of women, my very practical women, the response to this is, but I put on my bra both boobs at the same time. I just sort of like sling it on. Like, okay, we don't have to be so literal. The idea is to slow the whole thing down. There's no rush. Especially if you're struggling, rushing yourself and like pushing yourself. We got to get you. You're going to just overwhelm yourself. Instead, from a place of compassion, remind yourself we can only do one thing at a time well, and we only want to do one thing at a time. And that next step is small and doable. One boob at a time. I want to remind you, there will be days where there's bad outfits. You don't have to nail it every time. I know I don't. This is your permission slip to acknowledge and be kind to yourself on those days where they just feel like a no good rotten day. And you still want to get dressed. Let's do this, but let's do it one boob at a time. And move from your limbic brain, which is telling yourself that your ass is on fire and tigers and bears are chasing you. Move it up to your prefrontal cortex, where you're being deliberate and you're choosing the next thing with conscious deliberation. So you're moving from flight or fright or freeze, and you're moving it to the front of your brain with your higher level of thinking, and you're taking deliberate, tiny baby actions. And you can celebrate and get the relief of that dopamine hit of, okay, we're standing up now, we're out of bed. Yes, we did it. We brushed our teeth. All right. Yes, we did it. We showered. All right. Yes, we did it. We got that bra on. Yes, we did it. We put on our trousers. Yes, we did it. I mean, every single step of the way, you get the benefit of these little dopamine hits that you are successful in completing each single teeny tiny task of the one boob at a time protocol. It works when you work it. So if any of you are struggling, this week's podcast episode is for you. Yes, I want you to step into that leading lady energy, and I want you to feel stylish, and I want you to feel confident. But I also acknowledge that you're human and you're worth loving on and being kind to, even on days where you feel a little blue. That's why the one boob protocol was created, just for days like that. All right, let me know how it goes for you out there. I want to hear from you in the comments. If you institute the one boob at a time protocol, let me know how it goes. All right, Miss J out.
Thank you for listening to today's episode. To learn more about how to work with me, go to judithgaton.com. Click on the Start Here button to get access to my free personal style class. I give you a quick style win, a confidence boost, and you walk away with the tools to start getting stylish. Who doesn't love that? See you there. Miss J out.